My dear friends, stop what you're doing for just a moment. Take a breath and look around you. What you're experiencing right now, this moment, this room, this life, it's just one timeline among infinite possibilities. And I'm about to show you how to step into a completely different one. Right now, as you're listening these words, infinite versions of reality are vibrating just beyond your perception. They're so close you could almost reach out and touch them, waiting for you to collapse them into experience. Yet here we are, so many of us locked inside our single loops, living the same patterns, getting the same results, feeling the same frustrations, wondering why nothing ever changes, even though we desperately want more. Let me shatter something for you. You're not stuck because of fate, destiny, or bad luck. I've been there too. We're stuck because our systems, our minds, bodies, emotions, our very frequencies, are still tuned to our old timelines. You and I both know you can't break free by just wishing for it. You can't escape by forcing it, and we certainly can't trick the quantum field by pretending. This transformation we're seeking isn't about manifesting harder. It's about you and me stepping into new states of being, so completely, so coherently, that the quantum field has no choice but to mirror back different realities to each of us. I used to think, and maybe you did too, that manifestation was all about desire. Want something badly enough, and the universe will deliver it. But can I share with you the truth that changed everything for me? Your desire alone does nothing in the quantum field. The field doesn't care how badly you and I want change. It only responds to how aligned we are with the frequency of that change. This means that right now, even if you're doing everything right, saying all the affirmations, creating beautiful vision boards, doing your visualizations, you might still be signaling the old timeline. I know because I've been there. Why does this happen to us? Because beneath our conscious efforts, our bodies are wired for the familiar. Our nervous systems are addicted to those old emotional loops. Our subconscious minds are still broadcasting patterns of fear, doubt, and scarcity, even while we're consciously shouting, I want abundance, I want love, I want success. Here's what hit me like lightning, and I want it to hit you too. The quantum field listens to our dominant signal, not our loudest one. Take a breath and let that land in your heart. Your dominant signal comes from your full system vibration. Not just what you think, but what you feel, what you expect, what you embody in every moment. That's why you can say, I am wealthy, 1,000 times. But if your body contracts with anxiety every time you pay a bill, the field picks up your contraction, not your affirmation. I've seen it in my own life. You can visualize love all day long, but if your heart remains armored and closed from past hurts, the field registers your isolation, not your desire for connection. This is the trap that's kept me spinning for years. And maybe you too. We believe change starts outside us, with our circumstances, with our actions, with our results. But I've learned that quantum shift begins inside, with our state, with our coherence, with our alignment. You and I must become the versions of ourselves that already inhabit our desired timelines. Not someday, not when the evidence arrives, but right now. Let me share something that blew my mind when I understood it. Quantum physics shows us that all possibilities exist simultaneously in the field of potential. Every timeline, every version of you and me, every outcome we could imagine, they're all already vibrating in the quantum field. When we shift our vibration, we're not creating something from nothing. We're collapsing into the versions that have been waiting for us all along. I'm fascinated by how visionaries and inventors throughout history seem to understand this intuitively. Remember when Nikola Tesla said, if you only knew the magnificence of 3, 6, and 9, you would have the key to the universe. These aren't just magical tricks. They point to universal patterns, harmonics, and the profound truth that our reality organizes itself around vibration. So I had to ask myself, and now I'm asking you, the question isn't, how do I get what I want? The real question is, who do I need to become vibrationally to align with the timeline where what I desire already exists? And becoming isn't pretending. It's not faking it till you make it. It's not performing. Becoming is a full body, full soul shift into coherence that you and I can feel in every cell. This is where our quantum shift begins. You're not here to fight your old timeline. You're here with me to rise into the frequency of your new one. Now let's talk about the real reason people don't shift. It's not because they're lazy. It's not because they don't want change badly enough. And it's definitely not because they're doing manifestation wrong. It's because they're still entangled with the version of themselves that's wired to survive the old timeline. That version, while outdated, is familiar, and the subconscious mind loves the familiar more than it loves progress. The old timeline doesn't need your permission to keep playing. It just needs your participation. Every time you react the same way, tell the same story, expect the same outcome, the signal gets reinforced. It's like a well-worn neural pathway in the brain. The more you walk it, the deeper it gets. Soon that path becomes automatic. You're not choosing your timeline anymore. It's choosing you. And here's where quantum physics and neuroscience intersect in a way most overlook. In quantum mechanics, the observer effect tells us that the act of observation collapses a wave of infinite potential into a single event, a particle, a choice, a reality. But here's the twist. You're not just observing reality with your eyes. You're observing it with your beliefs, your emotions, your expectations. Now add this neuroscience insight. 95% of your behavior is driven by the subconscious mind, which stores all your emotional conditioning, trauma, beliefs, and identity patterns. This means most of the time, it's not your conscious intention collapsing the wave. It's your subconscious programming. Let that land. You're trying to manifest from the 5% of you that's awake and aware, while the 95% of you is still tuned to fear, lack, distrust, and survival. And the quantum responds to the dominant signal. So when people say manifestation doesn't work, what they really mean is, I haven't yet shifted the internal observer that's collapsing my reality. This is why people loop. This is why you can change your job, your partner, your city, and still find yourself in the same emotional patterns. Because nothing external has the power to override an internal frequency that hasn't been changed. What's anchoring you in the old timeline? Usually it's resistance. And resistance is sneaky. It shows up as overthinking, as procrastination, as emotional numbness, as hyperproductivity, as fear disguised as logic, as the voice that says be realistic. But resistance always boils down to one thing. Your system believes it's safer to stay where you are, even if you hate it, than to leap into the unknown. And that belief lives in the body, stored trauma, emotional suppression, inherited fears, all coded into your nervous system. That's why you can know something intellectually, but still not be able to live it. That's why affirmations fall flat, why visualizations fade, why you keep falling back into the same old cycles. The resistance isn't in your mindset, it's in your chemistry. When your nervous system is dysregulated, it sends a signal of threat to the field, even when your mouth is saying, I'm ready. That energetic contradiction keeps collapsing the same limited outcomes. It's not personal, it's physics. Tesla once said, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. This wasn't metaphorical, it was literal. Your life is a frequency. Your thoughts, emotions, posture, breath, they all create a vibrational pattern that either aligns with your desired timeline or repels it. You are not just a person navigating a life. You are a frequency generator embedded in a responsive field. And you've been broadcasting the same old pattern for so long. You've mistaken it for who you are. But here's the liberating truth. You don't have to fight that pattern. You just have to stop feeding it. Shifting timelines isn't about forcing the quantum field to obey you. It's about aligning so completely with the version of you who already lives the reality you desire, that the old timeline can no longer hold you. Think of the quantum field like a vast ocean of possibility. Every timeline, every version of you, every outcome already exists in that ocean as a wave. When you focus, when you observe, when you align, you collapse a particular wave into form. But here's the key. You don't collapse the wave by wanting it. You collapse it by matching it. And matching isn't just mental, it's emotional, physical, vibrational. It's how your entire system hums when you're in coherence. So why do people struggle to match the new timeline? Because they're trying to get there by thinking about it. They intellectualize the shift. I know abundance is available. I know love is possible. I know I can heal. But knowing isn't enough. Your body needs to know. Your emotions need to know. Your breath, your posture, your habits, your identity. They all need to signal, I am now the version of me who belongs in this timeline. This is where embodiment comes in. Embodiment is not a buzzword. It's the missing link. It's the practice of inhabiting the frequency you want before the external world gives you permission. If you're shifting into an abundance timeline, embodiment might mean spending money with trust instead of panic, breathing into your body when the fear of not enough rises, showing up to opportunities with openness instead of bracing for disappointment. If you're shifting into a love timeline, embodiment might mean softening your heart when you want to shut down, taking emotional risks, practicing vulnerability even when old wounds tell you to hide. You don't wait for the timeline to shift to start living differently. You start living differently, and the timeline shifts. This is why so many manifestation efforts fail. They're conditional. I'll feel grateful when I get the job. I'll relax when I find the relationship. I'll feel abundant when the money arrives. But the quantum doesn't work that way. The field isn't testing you or punishing you. It's reflecting you. And reflection happens instantaneously, not after a delay. The real work becomes, can you become coherent? Can you bring your mind, heart, body, and actions into alignment, even when nothing external has changed yet? Can you hold the signal long enough for the wave to collapse? Because here's the paradox. No one talks about. The timeline doesn't shift when you get tired of waiting. The timeline shifts when waiting is no longer part of your frequency. The only practice that matters is the one you actually live. We live in an age where it's easy to consume knowledge, gather techniques, watch videos, and yet never integrate. Why? Because consuming feels like progress. But progress only happens when the body, the breath, the actions begin to match the information. So here's how we bring the quantum shift into daily life. First, understand the principle of micro-alignment. Most people think shifting timelines requires massive, dramatic changes, but quantum reality responds to coherence, not size. A small act done with pure, aligned intention can carry more vibrational weight than a giant, frantic gesture done from desperation. If you're shifting toward abundance, your practice might be breathing deeply when scarcity thoughts arise, expressing gratitude for small resources, spending money with presence and trust rather than panic. If you're shifting toward love, your practice might be opening your posture when you want to shrink, speaking words of affection even when vulnerability feels uncomfortable. These small acts are quantum keys. They tell the field, this is who I am now, not who I'm trying to become someday, but who I've decided to be today. But here's the part most people miss. The practice is not about perfection. It's about returning. You will wobble. You will fall back into old loops. You will catch yourself thinking, feeling, or acting from the old timeline. This doesn't mean you failed. It means you're alive. The power isn't in never slipping. The power is in how quickly you come back. Every time you notice yourself slipping into the old frequency and gently guide yourself back, you strengthen the new timeline. Every time you pause, breathe, and choose coherence over chaos, you reinforce the shift. Every time you act as though the new reality is already true, even when the external world hasn't caught up yet, you collapse the wave. This is the dance of quantum embodiment. I've learned this the hard way, and I want to save you the trouble. The quantum field doesn't care if we visit our new timeline once. It only reshapes around us when we live there. I used to approach manifestation like a single event. Maybe you have too. We visualize, we affirm, we journal, we wait. And when results don't show up immediately, we collapse back into our old frequency. I didn't realize for the longest time that the true magic, the true transformation, happens in the staying. Sustainability is the master key of our quantum shift. Let me be real with you. This doesn't mean forcing yourself to feel good all the time. It doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending you're high vibe when you're going through hell. It means you and I developing the emotional and energetic capacity to return again and again to alignment. Every time you wobble and come back, you strengthen your signal. Every time you notice an old loop pulling at you and gently choose your new timeline instead, you reinforce your shift. Every time you act, speak, breathe, and choose as though you already live in your desired state, your old timeline loses its grip on you. This isn't punishment. This is mastery. You're learning how to become the quantum signal that collapses the wave, not occasionally, not when it's convenient, but as your way of life. Let me share the roadmap that changed everything for me. Number 1, daily awareness. I start my day not with my to-do list, but with a tuning. Ask yourself like I do. What frequency am I bringing into today? Are we carrying fear or trust? Are we expecting struggle or flow? Set your intention before your feet even hit the ground. Number 2, embodied action. Throughout your day, practice micro-alignment. Notice when your actions match your desired timeline and when they don't. If we want abundance, are we acting with generosity or scarcity? If we want love, are we opening or armoring? I found that small, repeated shifts matter far more than occasional big leaps. Number 4, emotional regulation. You and I will get triggered. We will fall into doubt. We're human. The power lies not in avoiding it, but in our return. Breathe. Ground yourself. Reconnect with the version of you who already knows. This is who I am now. Number 5, gratitude. This has transformed my life. When we practice genuine gratitude, we signal to the quantum, I am aligned, I am receptive, I am whole. This amplifies the coherence of our field and accelerates the collapse of our desired timeline. Remember, you're not doing this to get somewhere. You're doing this because this is the somewhere you are. You're not chasing your timeline. You are becoming it. Let me tell you something. You are not the same person who began listening these words. You are vibrating slightly differently. You are carrying new awareness, a new code, a new possibility inside you. The real magic isn't in remembering everything we've discussed. The real magic is in what you do next. So here's my invitation. Not a homework assignment, not a checklist, just a living, breathing invitation. In the next 24 hours, surprise yourself. Do one thing, just one, that belongs to the version of you living in your desired timeline. Maybe it's a choice, a gesture, a conversation, or even a private shift inside your mind or heart. It doesn't need to be big. It just needs to be real. And when you do it, know this, you are no longer waiting for change. You are being it. Your journey to mastery begins now. Not when you're ready, not when circumstances align, not when you have more information or feel more confident. Now, because the extraordinary version of you, the one living in that vibrant, expansive timeline, is already here, already whole, already complete. And the quantum field is listening.